All right, I guess we're live. Let's see, you have all the channels going. And yes, we're live. So, welcome back. We are here working on the RigBuilder again, proceeding on the development of the modules necessary to make this work today a little bit earlier because I want to have some sleep today if I can. So, we are going to get back. But first, if you want to comment or participate with us, please leave a comment here. And also, Bob will be spinning here, giving his great mood for us. Thanks for helping us with that, Bob. Always great. All right, so just right into action here. What we had yesterday was, or I don't even remember if it was yesterday anymore, but we have I have made a few adjustments and just some refinements. Placed the job or the school bones here, did a better job on the placement of the bones on the head. And if we add this into a layer here, we'll be able to then see a little bit better maybe. And let me hide the surface. The surface has also been sort of refined in the position. It's now closer to the surface, which is going to be essential for us later on the development. It's giving me a hard time to select this for some reason, but we can see that this is how it's looking right now. And there's obviously a lot of work to be done yet, or still. But all the bones are now inside of the mesh. There's no bleeding or no crashes of the mesh. That is hopefully going to make it look a little bit more professional. And also then the controls have been slightly adjusted here. Also, so the one of the main reasons why we started yesterday and kept working on the control shapes was because it was still lacking a few features which now have been solved. So first of all, what I'm going to do is, so just to recap what we're going to be doing today, the neck here, if we see the joints, is being controlled by this small controls here, which allow us to move each joint individually. So we need a control that's going to be controlling all of these guys at once, probably here in the middle of the joint of the neck. Then we're going to be controlling all of these guys and the head with one single control, and still keep the control of the individual joints or controls as you wish. The rig now is also able to scale, which it wasn't scale constrained before, so now it is. And I also want to change these balls here for something else. So let's keep going then. It's place to get started. It's just to adjust this. It's just to adjust our clavicle control here. So I'm going to start by creating a NURBS shape here, or a NURBS curve. It could be the CV curve tool, and I'm going to create one with, I don't know, about five control points. So one every two here. So one, let's see, like 1, 2, 4, 5. And that should be good enough. Let me cue the history on this thing, and let's see if we can then create some interesting shapes. It feels to me that we do. That's more or less what we need. I don't know if we need to rebuild this curve so that we have the start and end. Probably this will give us a weird UV value because we don't have the necessary 2 CVs and extra 2 CVs there, but I don't know if it matters though at this point. I think that all we need then is to save this and try to work it. So I'm going to use the tool that we developed here to store this control. So I believe it was just like this, and then it's like 5 CV straight line. Is it a line? I guess it's a line. It's curve 5 CV straight. Is it how you write straight though? Yeah. 5 CV straight. I think that would be a good name. Let's see. So now that it's saved, I need to rebuild the rig. That will give us the ability to change this particular guy here into a 5 CV straight. And then I'm going to model that curve into the position of this clavicle here. So then let's rebuild the rig. Oh no, I also actually needed to reload the builder here. Or not. Let's see. I think it will be possible. Because it is speaking the information from somewhere else, so I'm just gonna check what's gonna happen. Five CV straight. So we don't have that. It's because we need to reload this and rebuild. It's a beautiful day here in Vancouver today. We have the sun shining, and baby is playing with her toy. Olha a minha ali, de médica. Uau! Filha, filha. Deixa eu ver o coração da minha. Sentindo melhor? Vai. All right, so let's go. It's built. Now I am able to change this shape here. So it is going to be that shape form. So 5 CV straight. I hope this is a good name. In the future, I might have to change this, but right now it works, as you can see here. It just changed it for a straight line, and that's what we need. So then from this line here, I can edit the CV points. I'll bring it out a little bit and place it roughly on the beginning of the clavicle. Put it a little bit up like this. So what I'm going to do then is try to mimic the shape of the clavicle here with this 5 CV points. And let's try to do like just a, a rough positioning of this guy here. So that we can pick it up and always know what it is about. It has to be like a no-brainer that this is actually related to the clavicle. Just trying to point the curve in the roughly on the right direction. And we can always edit this later and save it back again. So I mean I might be better off just pretty roughly adjusting it. And I think this is a good enough shape for now. And it is red already, so that's already a great thing. Hopefully it will be a little less, this, I don't know if this floating ball here is like what we actually need. So we should then be able to control set shape forms again and just do the same thing. So 5CV straight. And then we are now able to select this guy and do mirror selected, and boom, we got it. Look at that. We actually have something that works. That's such a great feeling. So that's why we also want this like this primary shapes here. And yeah, this is good enough. I think that kind of represents the clavicle in a simplistic way or in a simple way. It might be better than a floating sphere here, which has no meaning whatsoever. Okay, so that's done and saved. I guess no. Have we saved? No. Export control shapes. We should be able already to rebuild it with this new shape. And now I think that the jaw might be just a little bit too. This jaw curve here is a bit too pronounced, maybe. I don't know. I know that it needs to be that far off. I'm just trying to roughly adjust it. Let's see if it got any better. I don't know. It might be better. I think it might be better. So might be just slightly better. Yeah, I think it's just a little bit better. It was just too much. There's no need for going all the way back like that. It's just going to be a little more discreet, and that might help us in the future. So I'm going to also export this again so that it's done. And now I would also like to adjust a little bit of the jaw shape here. And I'm going to initiate ng skin tools. Queue not now. You can certainly hear my family in the background, and that's actually a good treat. Be able to work with your daughter close to you. That's actually something that I enjoy. So what I'm going to do here is just like add a little bit more of the influence of the jaw here because I'm feeling that it's a little too loose. Okay, so also on top of that, there was already some influence, like the skin weights were already painted, so we don't need to focus too much on that. I just want the correction here on the corners or on the end of the jawbone there, so that we have something a little bit. It was kind of looking mushy to me. So anyways, this is obviously a provisory skinning. This is not the final skinning, so there's not even a point in developing it too much. But since we're testing it, might be just better off uh, scanning it as best as possible, right? So I'll also duplicate this base layer here, and I want to, because I saw that our, for some reason, it's different from one side to the other. I think I didn't mirror the clavicle, so I will just mirror that right now, and I will then just mask this bottom part here, which is what we actually need right now. And then I'm gonna paint this mask only. Jeez. All right, so that should be good enough, and we should have this joint here added as well. It's not great, by no means. It's not even realistic, but it is what, at least it's added to the skin cluster. Now both sides are equal, and we have the jaw open. And that's good enough for now. That's what we need. And I'll be now getting into our neck module development. That's the next thing. So yeah, let me export the skin cluster here. Let me first get rid of the custom nodes from ng skin tools. And I will be then exporting our skin cluster. So I believe it is here, and skin tools and export skin weights. Let me see if it's, I forgot if it's going to export all of the skin weights. Let me see if I have any notes. Rename all. Export model geo weights. Yeah, that's just that. I hope so. Let me just save this, by the way, since I'm running something that I'm not sure here. If we lose anything, we can always get back to a saved file, try to export it again or not. So it has been saved. Let's see if we can rerun this then. and get what we need. Oh, baby. Strong Geo is already connected to a skin cluster. How's that even a thing? Oh no. What have I done wrong? No, I know it. Everything was working just fine just now. Hmm. What am I missing here? I have what? Do I have? Why is it like? Did I export to? Do I have like a duplicate or something of sorts? Why have it? I'm gonna check the file on the project. Man, it's like when that happens. No, yeah, I know what it is. I'm just gonna do like this is actually something to have in mind because I'm saving it's hard coded to save it as skin cluster one, and that's no bueno. So I am going to make it run here. Meanwhile, we're gonna get back here and check out this function, see why it is hard coded. So I think, so this is not the function. What we need is right here. Read missing directories. Then is export model geo, and it should be the project directory, the file name. So I'm checking here. Why is it that it is exporting with the wrong name, given that it is querying the file name from the proper place? So, well, it did work here. Let's see if this is correct, and this is correct. So only this one guy here that is annoying sometimes, but it's fine. So yeah, that's all good. Now I need to check why is it happening like that? Export model geo weights. That should be correct though. I don't know why is it not. It is being called after the utilities and export model geo weights. It's picking up the file name from name. So it might be that I have misspelled something here. Project data file dict. Oh, let me find it. Project data file dict. It's weird. With your group. This is also hard coded. Yeah, so there's a few things that needs to be changed on this thing, but the thing is, it is working. So should be fine for now. Oi, né? Você tá com o nariz escorrega muito? Posso sentir bem? Right, so let's go. Let's move into this. So I think that maybe I did something wrong afterwards. I don't know. I'm confused right now. Maybe it was. You know what? Let's try to export it again. Let's see what happens because I'm really not sure. Yeah, let's just check that out. Just make sure it's the correct thing. Drop it here like a little backup version. Pretty fast. And yeah, it is creating like a skin cluster one. But I don't understand. Why is that happening though? Let's see what kind of so weird. Am I redeclaring this file name somewhere? Geometry list, skin clusters model. Wow, this name is terrible. This is this. Geometry list, directory path, and the file name. I think it must be failing to. If geolist, if not, blah blah. Well, it's funny that I think it is not reloading. It doesn't make any sense to me. Export. So what we are trying to figure out here is why it is basically exporting it with the wrong name. So we have a geolist and we have the directory path. So that should be using the file name that is provided. I don't get it. Almost seems like it is not picking up the latest version. Yeah, but anyways, this is not going to be a deal breaker for us right now. I don't need to keep struggling about this. I would like to have it completely clear of any possible errors, but model geo skin weights. Yeah, that name is not even anywhere. Anyways, let's keep it going. So let me quickly write the function then that will be using to build this method. So first of all, I need a list of the names of the joints of the neck. Kind of a quite a few offs there, but anyways. So it's going to be this is the C7, so this is the C1, this is the head. Let me see if it's all joint. Next C3. Yeah, so in the future, I might have a way to query this information. Right now, I'm just gonna hard code it. Because I have no way to store the information. Like I would have to have a way to store the joint names of the skeleton. Which is actually interesting if you ask me. Like what I could do is have like a base save the template skeleton with joint names on a codified way. So say just like N001 or something like that, and then have a dictionary that's going to change that naming once it is imported. Because then if we need to change if we want to change the naming convention, it would be easy. It's actually a good idea. Let me add a comment here. Consider naming the template skeleton joints as code, such as N001, and rename it based on dictionary data. So making it easy to change the convention if necessary. I'm going to take note of that for the future. But right now, it's going to be neck joints joint list is equal to neck C1. I don't know if it's going to be the joint or the control that I need here. I think I'm going to go. Let's go with joint initially. I can always change it. So I can add a comma here and duplicate this guy. The first one is actually the head joint. And now we can just keep duplicating this and changing, or actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the thing here is, what I'm trying to do is just build this neck system. So I'm just giving right now I'm hard coding it, just saying the names of the neck joints. In the future, we're gonna have a way of have knowing that this neck section has X joints on it with the proper naming. And yeah, that should be it. So we do need the joints because it's going to be binded to the joints, so that's good. So we have it already. Now let's keep moving into the next thing. So create surface. So this I wrote these notes before so that I know what I have to code. And the thing now is create surface from positions. Okay, so I'm going to create then a dictionary, I guess, with the joints and the positions, but I need the position. I need it to be a list actually. So joint position list. Yeah, I can always do like a zip and get both linked as a list. Equals to xform c dot xform joint query to translation to world space to for joint in neck joint list. So that should give us the positions of the joints in a list inside of this joint position list. And they should have the same index because it's pretty reliable. And now we're going to go into, we actually have to create the joint, or create the surface. So I have a code snippet here that I have used before. And what I want to know is if it is the same as my utilities, and I don't think so. So I have TP utils and rig utils, and what I need is this snippet of code into my rig utilities. And I also need to actually to clean this up. So it's going to be this guy here. I'm just going to copy it. The only difference that I need, so what it's going to do here is create a surface out of a set of positions. So if I give, just like I did there, a list of positions to the script, to this particular function here, should return us a surface. So it's going to basically, let me try to open the Photoshop file here. It's going to have a bunch of, so we're going to have the positions. It's going to create a curve out of that positions, duplicate the curves, and there's going to loft between the curves, and that's going to give us a surface. So the idea is that we're going to then bind the surface into this joint chain here, and we're going to place a follicle in the middle of it, and then we're going to have a control on the follicle on the surface. Then we're going to be adding a offset group into each one of these guys here, and then we're going to be controlling the offset group of these guys with that control on the follicle. So that should give us a kind of a, let's see, maybe we get a loop out of that, but we're going to be trying, let's try that first. Now, let me see if we have the Photoshop has anything for us to work with. Yeah, so this is a very rough sketch of the idea here. So the controls on the follicle and so on and so forth. Right, so let's do it. Okay, so we have the function here. So I'm requiring a point list, which I think it's point list, no pun intended or intended, but I am actually querying the point list here, and I don't want that. I want just the position list. So I would remove this and just have the position list right on the. Then it's going to change this as well. And that should actually give us what we need. So this is going to be changing to the position list. And then let's keep going. Now, here, then what I'm going to do is call this guy and call this function, right? So TP, so TP utils, I think that's what, so to be surface from pointers, which is already wrong because it's not what I want. So the pointers, position, so quite descriptive, and that's what I need. Position list. So then what the information that I'm requiring is the position list, scale is 1, reverse false, normal 1. It's basically just the name. It's just the position list here, which we should be firing there, join position list, and then the name, which should be something on the lines of like Mac module system surface. I don't know if that's the best thing, but usually, as usual, I'm just gonna do it and figure it out later. Or at least let's see if it works, and then we get back and change the naming. So we should have the, so surface then, module surface should be equals to this guy. And then we should be able to add a follicle into this surface. So let's check how am I doing it on the actual. Yeah, so I'm just creating a follicle here. And then I need to check what is it that is returning, but create follicle. should return us. Yeah, we have like the transform. It's fine. It's actually not that bad. So let me copy this section here and I'll check out what do I need to change. And also I need to get this function here, which is only in my oh boy. Okay, so I think I have I'm calling multiple other functions here. Create node, list relatives, rename, object type, connect attribute, blah blah blah. Yeah, no, there's no custom functions here. So we can just straightforward paste it here. And I believe that I have this already back somewhere. Okay, so I have it already. Create. Oh yeah, I gotta have it because yeah, it is here. Okay, great. Even better. So now I'm just going to, so yeah, I should have seen that. This is TP utils. Let's get it. Value and the name. And so we are creating the follicle here, and that should give us so surface shape. So I do need the shape here, and what am I returning out of this guy here? It's the lost surface. I need the shape. So I will then list the relatives of this guy. Module surface shape, and then it's going to be c dot list relatives model surface shapes equals 2, and this should have only one shape. So module surface shape, UV value control setup data. What is this though? I need it. I don't need the. It's not sophisticated. And this is actually going to be hard coded for now. I do need the FLC there though, and then I will close this, and this is going to be actually Mac main. So I believe it would be like the main control. I can probably listen to my family in the back, and that's just life, as you know. Okay, so we are creating the follicle in the middle of the surface then, and now module data, I don't need that. Maybe I could keep that, but so this is no longer how I create controls. Main Mac control goes to. I need to check how I've been creating controls. I always forget. Get controls to skeleton. So this is the guy. Eita! All right, so I was sneezing here. All right, so module data control mark. I need that now. So we have the module, the mainnet control. I do need to mainnet control. I'll add offset group, and the mainnet control must be named something like mainnet control. Yeah, now it might be that I changed this. I'm not sure. So the follicle position is fine. Follicle date is coming. We're using the but I don't remember. I don't think I have on the rig utils the read follicle. I think I have to. Yeah, I have. It's just the transform now. Just because the transform for the follicle, yeah, it is just a transform because you can always just query the shape. I don't need the information. I can just get it. Let's see data, and I don't like this flag, so query translation word space, and then I'm going to do. So I think I have on the control. I have already a match position. That position. Close that position. I should have. I should be able to do that easily. Click rotate. Position data. Yeah, so this is correct. I'm going to then store position, match position target. Okay, so I'm going to define a new function here. So set position, and that's going to be a translation list. And it should be, it's just easy, but it could be just easy to just set it manually or just do an X form, but installation list, and that should be like mc.x form, self.transform, translation goes to translation list. And do I? Yeah, I could also just constrain get name. Yeah, I will add this function, but this is not what we want actually. So set transform translation list to be translation workspace true. But this is not what we actually want because I need the offset group here. This is what's going to be. So we have the follicle position, but not even the follicle position we would actually need. So we have the offset group. Does the offset group is returning the name of the offset group? Yeah. So show offset group, and then we're going to do simply, what is this? I don't care. And so we have the offset group, which is what we're going to use. So we're going to be throwing it into the follicle with a simple parent constraint. Just putting on some music here. Baby's out of control. All right, so let's keep pushing here. So I want the parent constraint without a maintain offset of the control. So first the master, that's the follicle, FLC data, which is the transform. And then we're going to do control offset group, and then we're going to do it's no parent constraint. Yeah, we don't need the maintain offset. This is just going to be thrown right into the follicle, and that solves our problem completely, and we can move on. So this should be giving us so far already a control on the follicle. So then we have create NAC global control. That's what we did already. All right, so then I need to loop then through control list, is equal to control dot replace joint for control. Then for control, sorry, joint for joint in neck joint list. So I'm just renaming this and why is it complaining here? Oh yeah. All right, so we got it. So we have the name of the controls that we need. So now we want the objects for this. So then we have neck control objects, object list. And that should be self dot object control object dict control for control and control neck control list. Okay, so now we have a list of objects on the proper order, and now we can loop through the action. So for neck control object list, I'm just going to add oh sorry for control object in object list, I'm just going to say control object dot add offset group. And then I need to add this offset groups into a list. Yeah. Offset group list. Oh my god. And offset group list dot append this brother here. So that should give us the thing, and this could actually be a list comprehension. This could actually be a list comprehension. Again, let's save some space, right? To object list, so then it can yeah, so with that we should have the system basically set. And now the last step is to create the multiplying divide node and start to setting the function up. Oh boy, I'm tripping here. All right, that's the correct pronunciation there. So now then, if we rebuild this, hopefully this won't break and we will have a beginning of a neck module. That could be the start of our new thing here. Constraint controls skeleton base, import control shapes. So we're going to be then creating the neck module. Soft register build method create neck module that will be parented to self dot top level item and with self dot create self dot neck create neck module. So that should be good. Nothing crashes, we should see it create neck module here. And in all honesty, I believe we could just run it right here. We wouldn't even Need to rebuild the entire thing. It already crashed. Maybe singing right now. Right. Let's check here some work emails. Okay, so it's crashing because module object has no attribute surface on position list. Module object. Module object. Uh, Probably wants complaining because it needs to be reloaded here. Roll to PU tools. Let's see if that allows us to run the thing. Let's see if the magic happens now. The day will come where I will be writing functions and it will not crash when I attempt. Look at that. It worked. Nice. So we have the surface and the follicle, although the follicle obviously didn't work. It fell to the ground, as you can see, so something is wrong with what I did, but at least it is working. I didn't expect it to run in the first attempt because it's just how it goes. A miracle will happen one day, and I'll make it. Not today, apparently. But we know that the surface is being created, and that's fine. That's what we need. And also, we need to bind surface. Or do we need to bind that? We don't need to bind the surface because the surface will be binded later on. Okay, so we create the control, or the control should be created as well. What's going on with the control? So it is crashing. Yeah, okay. No object matches name N in line 110. Let's see that. Surface input scale, UV value, height, name, follicle. So am I not getting the correct information from the surface here? It might be that. So why do I have a double surface here? Some surface. Okay, so it's double adding the surface, no problem. So this relatives. Like module surface shapes. That's true. And it is returning the proper thing, so why is it then that? Okay, so let me check what is it that it's requiring. Input surface, object type, follicle create, rename the follicle. It's going to check whatever if the surface follicle shape. I'm passing in the shape, but why am I passing in the shape? Let's try not module surface. Let's see if it doesn't require it to be the shape. Oh, we turn off then the create neck module because then we can just run the entire rig. All right. So we're just waiting for the rig to be built and actually blazing fast. Look at that, Bob. A couple of seconds. Just a couple of seconds. Oh, babies. Give me a speech right now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I just want to test the. It still crashed. See if the follicle is there. Still on the ground. God damn it. Hello, how's it pronounced? Shilash or Shailash Kumar? How's it going, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Today we have the. Wow, what happens here? My monitor turned off. Hello, Shailash Kumar. Welcome, my friend. So I have an issue here with my monitor. What's going on? It turned off. Come back. All right, Shailash. Thanks for liking. I appreciate it. I'm trying to figure out why my monitor turned off here. Hold on. We're gonna get there. But yeah, once again, thanks for liking. We are building this neck module here. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to go under the table, and I can leave you guys with this beautiful image. Back. Cable was uh, uh, modeling. Oh, what software am I modeling? You ask. What software for what software for developing? Yeah, I'm using Maya here to the for the rigging. The actual model for this one here is bought. I didn't develop this just because I needed to focus on the actual process here of rigging. And right now we're making some good progress, and the rig is mostly building. Uh, we're almost starting to get a proper rig, like what I would call a rig. So far, it's been just cleaning and building from ground up. but it is Maya. So what I'm checking here is that if we're trying to create a follicle on the surface, but the follicle is falling to the ground. So I don't know why is that the case. I'm trying to check the check the script here. Why? Yeah, this is what I don't understand. Like I'm passing in. Why do I have a list here though? But oh man, I hate when I do this. So this was a mistake right there. Oh, let me just take this. Not a list. That's why it's not. Um, but if this was that way, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna break something else here. Let's try again. Let's see if it's going to allow me to run it again without crashing. Oh, by the way, I need to restart the code. Yeah, and for Shailash, is it Shailash? Yeah, I hope that. Yeah, yeah. I hope that he's saying that he's wearing a mask. Yes, it's actually wearing a mask. Look at that. The freaking school is wearing a mask. The times that we live in, my friend. It was not intended though. This is a surface used by the system, or that will be the system. But yes, the things that we are so used to that right now, right? So it's still crashing. So now it's complaining that it's can only concatenate list attribute. God damn, dude. Okay, so it's crashing again. So I have to check why. I'm not remembering why this, because this is a node function that I have, or it has been used in other for other purposes before. And in this particular case, I am providing a surface, and the surface that I'm providing is being returned as it shouldn't be a list though. Unless it is a list. It's printed, right? Let's print the module surface. Let's see what are we getting out of it. So it should be somewhere around here. Yeah, so it is a list indeed. That's a silly thing because it's not. It's senseless to me. Why would that be the case? Why would I be passing this information as a list? I don't see the purpose. So it's a loft. I don't see it. I'm just gonna get it as not as a list. Done. So now we're getting it not as a list. So now this should then be the case where it's completely senseless. Why would I have done this? Add a bunch of like. So it should work now, but well, is it added though? No, the follicle is still not here. Now let's try to create this neck module and it crashed again. Dude, just go into the freaking surface. Let me see how the UVs are coming along here. The surface has no UVs. Is that what you're saying? What are the UVs though? Come on. Yo, surface! Work! I don't understand. I don't think it has this. It has a UV. So this is a problem, apparently. Obviously, it's a problem. But it seems like we have something here. Shalash is asking, how can you say what GitHub is? How can you say what GitHub is? So the GitHub is a place where it's a like a repository where you can upload the code and keep track of uh, modifications. So you have if you modify the code and you commit it, then you can restore the code if something breaks. Multiple people can add to the code. This way you can keep the project walking. And if you have GitHub, it seems to me, or at least as far as I know, it's meant for multiple people to use it. So, or like a project or something like that. So multiple people can collaborate. So if you're working on a part of the code, for example, you can commit it. I can check it. If I am approved, so if the code cannot be updated without approval, I can like approve the code if someone sends me something or a suggestion or anything. So people can download the code, and that's what GitHub is. And that's why I have it there. It's not updated, by the way. This is an old part of the code, but the code is not also not ready. So trying to add the follicle into this, but it's not collaborating, unfortunately. I think it has to do with the way that the surface is being created. Uniform create surface from position list, that's fine. Auto reverse, degrees, section spans. Let's try to go with one for uniform. I don't know. It seems to me that there's something wrong here. I don't understand why Why is the follicle not sticking to it? Freaking follicles falling to the ground. And why is the UVs are not? Why are the UVs not being created? Or are they not being created? But they might be created. Okay, okay, bro. It's all gonna be all right. We're gonna get it. So are we creating deleting the construction history though? Oh, we have the construction history turned to false, so we don't actually need it. Okay, so the model surface is being created. We get the model surface. Let me see what's being printed here. Neck module surface, that's correct. Let me close NG skin tools here. We don't need him. Uh, so it is not crashing on this function, but it's also not adding the follicle. So that's a problem. If the input surface is of the type NURB surface connect to the surface, connect the matrix, blah, blah. So what I think is that the surface is not getting the proper UV parameters. But this shouldn't be the case though, because it is working in one of our. But maybe that's the whole issue here. Oh god, I'm not using the surface shape. I'm using the surface. Let's try that. Oh, nice. I think we got it. Nice. That's it. Finally. Okay, so no crashes. We got to the point where we needed. Oh no, there was a crash. Let's see if the offset group was added. Add offset control. Add offset group. GRP. Okay, so I can then rebuild this, and I think we're starting to get somewhere here. We are already for 1 hour and a half doing this. I just want to try to finish this module before closing the day. No, and actually it didn't crash, so that's a great sign. Yeah, the controls there, great. That's exactly what we wanted. Now let's see if we have the extra offset group added into this control here. Yeah, so control NAC 3. For each one of them, we have double controls. That's great. That's what we need. Great, making some progress here. Let me just check one last thing here. So I'm rebuilding it right now. And the control is still there. It is free. Let me just make an adjustment here that is bothering me. Just unbind it here, destroy it, no problem. Not too bad. Yeah, this is mostly an aesthetical modification here. No particular purpose, just want to look at it and see a believable thing. Okay, so there we have it. The control is there. Now the next step then it is continuing on the move here. But this modification is certainly going to crash my mouth module there. Oh, okay. Let me already check the mouth module because I'm going to forget this. Whew, look at that. Huh. There's no follicle? No, there gotta be raw output. That's it. So here's where I'm creating the follicle. That's being handled by this guy here. And dude, just add the crazy thing here. Okay, so this is going to save me some headache for sure. Okay, so those just double checking, but I'm feeling like I'm doing some crazy modifications here that might bite me in the ass later, but it's fine. Okay, so we have the offset group list. So now it's going to connect global control to that. Yeah, okay, so apply divide node. And I actually have a setup for that already, so I'm just going to take it. So I'm just checking here. It's dividing by 3 and actually connect attribute. Uh, okay, so this is more what we're looking after. Divide node, then of the divide node, we're setting axis connect. Rotate, and now we're going to change this guy here. So this is going to be our main neck control dot get name. Sounds good. It's going to connect the rotation. All good. And then we need to connect this multiply node output into all of the other guys. All right, so I'm just checking out how should we connect here. So it should be output, then multiply divide node, I have to create a node there and check how it looks, but it's probably output. Yeah, connect, output. Yeah, so then that should be it. Connect that, then connect, and that go control into rig control group. Yeah, so that should be it actually for offset group and offset group list. That's probably going to be on the wrong rotation order. I'm not sure, so let's check that out. But that should be good enough. That should give us a oh, and also I need to add this into the self dot object control object dict dot update. Then this is going to be the okay, so it's going to be main control dot get name. Main control. So all right, so that should give us what we want. Let's try. Let's see, maybe we got it. Interesting. So this is going to be let's change this into a half circle. What? It's object X here. That's what's happening. Okay, so let's just adjust here the final adjustments. Actually, not too bad. Okay, so this is like a provisory thing, so it doesn't really matter. Hmm. Obviously, it's wrong. Let's watch what's happening here. Hmm. How's that even doing this? Okay, so obviously, because we're approaching 1 hour and 15 minutes, and I think we're kind of done here. But we can see that it is working. I just don't know for sure why is it. Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. So the rotations are correct. I think that, yeah, look at that. Yeah, the offset group is being created with a kind of a random position here. So that should be something not hard to resolve, but I don't know why is that happening. So if I add a new offset group here, where's the this is zeroed out, that's fine, that's what we need. Hmm. Okay, so another thing that I want to test is also just binding this and seeing if the controls are going to work. See if we are not going to have any sort of double transform. Yeah, so the pivot points are all obviously wrong, but I think that once we get that sorted out, it's already going to be working. So we can see that there's no cycles going on, which is great. And the rotation order is obviously screwed up. So why is that the case? Add offset group. If not, offset group index equals 1. Else length plus 1. So just getting the index. I guess I could possibly reduce this to something like index equals 1 if not self dot offset group list, else this, and that should give us the exact same result, but a little bit cleaner. Now, why is that? I don't know if I understand why is it creating an offset group with the pivot this wrong. It's just off. Maybe I know, maybe I know. So let me see, maybe that's import create net module. Constraint. Constraint scout into base controls. Yeah, maybe it's the order in which I am adding the offset groups here. So I'm getting the objects, I am adding the offset group and adding them into a list. It's weird. Vou parar aqui já. Okay, so we're very close to getting this done right now. I guess I'm gonna already start giving an overview of what happened today because it's already 2 hours of development mostly, but it is all kind of working. It needs adjustments, of course, but the main concept is working, except we're adding offset groups into these joints and we're getting a position here that I don't really understand. It should be on the same point here. It shouldn't be like off like this. Even if I add a new offset group on top of it, it is zeroed out. So why the pivot is like offsetted? This point, I don't know. So the thing is then the system works as expected, except for this, and also the rotation order. So because of the pivot position being wrong, it is doing the wrong thing. But it is doing what it should be doing, and it's not giving us any cycles. So when it's done, we're going to be able to just check the same thing as if we grabbed all of them like this and spinned it like this. But we can do both things at the same time. So we can do something like this and still have control over a particular part. If you want to grab like one of these guys here, you would still have control over it. So you can make like finer refinements, including having part of the head looking to one side and part of the head looking to the other side. It's quite weird, but it's just a way to have fine adjustments over it. And the surface is inside of the mesh. Everything is positioned on the correct place. Now the school is better positioned inside of the head as well. Nothing's crashing through the mesh. Uh, it's a lot cleaner. The controls of the clavicles are now different as well, and this is all rebuilding as expected, including the neck system, which is now rebuilding but needs to be adjusted. So that is actually what it is. Thanks for Shaylash for participating today. Highly appreciated, man. And yeah, there's still a little bit of work on this next system. I hope that next session we get done with it and move to the next system. But it's good progress already. The shapes, the control shapes, we're done with that. That's good. It's building. Uh, it's a very flexible system. Honestly, I haven't seen this anywhere else. Uh, Pretty flexible, easy to use, easy to save, and we're making this kind of progress. So that's it. Bob, thanks so much for your beautiful presence here today. And for you guys, thank you so much for stopping by. And we will be getting on to it on the next stream. So, guys, have a good night. Cheers.